So look, Juan, you said something that we probably need to coin. Your net worth is your network is your net worth. And I want you to elaborate on your spin on it. But from what I take from it is um, you know, the more people you know and the more people that actually that mess with you, the more opportunities you have to make money because they have other opportunities that can literally make you money they can connect you with. So if you literally hang out with three people and all you talk to is three people when it comes to starting a business, or you quit your job and you want another one, you're trying to call around for some connections to get into another company. You literally only have three people that you can call and talk to. But if your social network is huge in any capacity and that person feels at least close enough to you to even lend you a hand or throw you a bone or give you an opportunity, you just literally multiplied the amount of opportunities you can have to make money or get a job, tenfold by just being extroverted and open your mouth. It's a stats game. The more people the more opportunities and doors they can open for you. Come on now.
Facts.
Now, I don't know if we align there. Which is there anything you want to add to that term that you coined?
No, I mean, think about it, dog. If you got a product for sale, you know what I'm saying? And this is America. I always say this. If you're in America, you always want to have something for sale. Now, whether you know it or not, you got something for sale anyway, right? You either selling a product or you selling your time, some shit like that. You selling something in America. That's all we have to do here. You know what I'm saying? America don't really produce shit. We just buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just buyers and sellers, right? People sell services. Some people sell products. You know what I'm saying? Some people sell all kind of shit. People sell lifestyle. People sell entertainment. You know what I'm saying? What do you have for sale?
Facts.
Now, if you got something for sale, how many buyers do you have? That's going to determine how successful you are. And how can you have buyers if you haven't established any relationships? So you won't even put the product out there. Yeah. Think about that.
That's real. That's real. It's in the more now some people look at it as work, Duan, but the more people you nurture relationships. Now you don't have to nurture every relationship the same way. Like for instance, I don't think you would nurture your relationship with me or with somebody else like you would nurture a relationship with your wife or something. You just wouldn't do that. Now there's people that you nurture relationships with differently based on where they're at in your social circle. Now, again, I mentioned this. Not everybody needs to be your best friend to actually feel close enough to you to open a door for you. Right. It does not have to work that way. You don't have to water or nurture that relationship so much. They might just like you because you was cool. You shook their hand. Y'all had a good time. You had a good conversation. They thought you was a positive person. They say, yeah, man, I got you. It could be as simple as that. You hear a lot of people say like, oh, that's really not your friend, or they don't mess with you like that, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, it ain't no beef. If we see each other, we dap each other up. We cool. We can sit there and have a drink and have a good time. I call them a friend. Like, it's a very loose term with that. If there's no beef, you don't have nothing. They just, hey man, that's my homeboy. That's my boy. Cool. And it's as simple as that. And there's circles at which you mess with people,
right.
So that's what I think that's where I say that to say, because I think that's where the contradiction comes in, where people will say, well, everybody can't be your best. Well, everybody doesn't have to be your best friend. And you're probably not their best friend.
Exactly.
But they still feel close enough to you, DeJuan, to say, hey, man, when DeJuan pulls up and he goes to that club, man, let him in the front of the line. Or, hey, man, when DeJuan calls you for this reference, make sure he meets the CEO or the VP. Or, hey, DeJuan, when DeJuan needs a haircut, make sure that man gets his haircut at the convenient time that he needs.
I know people are so simple. Like, people will be like, what are you talking about, bro? I could go get a haircut. Yeah, man, all y'all boys can go pay top dollar. Bro, when you don't have these relationships, when you don't, like I said, when you don't establish value to the next person, you're going to pay the highest premiums in life, bro.
Period. Matter of fact, you just hit the nail on the head. Guess who don't pay premiums anywhere they go?
Celebrities.
Super famous people. These famous people could be broke and they still don't pay tabs. I'm not talking, not every celebrity is rich. I know people always think just because they got a blue check or they're famous that they got all this money. But does not necessarily equal money. It does not. It's not a direct correlation like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty strong one, but it is not a direct correlation.
You should do that. You know what I'm saying? But people be having. Think about that. A lot of these celebrities can't handle the fame because they're really introverts.
Correct.
So the social anxiety of dealing with all these personalities drive them crazy. That's why they can't deal with it. And they fuck up all their money or whatever the case may be. But think about it, dog. If you got the world at your disposal, how the fuck can you be broke?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it'd be people willing to support anything you do. I mean, you could sell memorabilia. You could sign autographs and ship them bitches in the mail. And you can't sell water. Come on, man. Like, but it's real, bro. Social, mental health is real, man. You know what I'm saying? But it just go to show, like, I mean, even to deal with your relationships with women, like a lot of these young boys be crying about women all day, bro. You scared of everything, bro. You ain't saying nothing to them.
And it's not their fault.
How you want a woman to come say something to you, bro?
Right.
And then y'all scared of all the shots that y'all won't even take.
Right.
I use this analogy all the time. Are you going to be Ben Simmons or are you going to be Giannis?
Yeah.
What's the difference between Ben Simmons and Giannis? Both 6'10 guards for real. 6'10 guard forwards. Can't be stopped in transition. You know what I'm saying? Could be a monster in the post. Ball handling ability, passing. You would say Giannis is a little bit more athletic, a little bit more stronger in the post. I mean, by margins and margins that don't even matter. Nobody's still stopping Ben Simmons doing the same shit. You would say Ben Simmons got a little bit of a better handle, a little bit swifter pass. Margins that doesn't matter because nobody's stopping neither. But what was the thing that they both had in common? They could not shoot. They wasn't shooters. One is a 2-time MVP, 1-time finals MVP. Pretty much on pace right now to at his ceiling. His ceiling is damn near GOAT status. And his floor is top 25 all time because he's already made it in the top 25 all time. Like he could stop balling right now and be top 25. Then where's Ben Simmons, dog? Haven't played in a year and trying to damn basically sue the damn Philadelphia 76ers for his damn non-paid salary because his ass was too scared to play because he's scared to take a fucking jump shot.
Scared.
Giannis don't give a fuck. Giannis pulling up, dog, air balls, bricks out the world.
Right.
What is that? What has that gotten him? Right. Got him a couple little trolls on the gram, couple people laughing that he's way better than.
Right.
And a 2-time MVP, finals MVP, top 25 player of all times, and he just now entered his motherfucking prime. Why couldn't Ben Simmons have done that?
Right.
It's the fucking mindset, dog. It's the mindset.
It's paralyzing to your growth. It really, when you're scared of something, no one is saying that the emotion or the reaction of fear doesn't exist, because it does. But what you do is the things that make you uncomfortable, you got to hit those head on, and you will feel so much better for it. If Ben Simmons, to your point, DeJuan, just took the shot, whether he missed it or made it. Matter of fact, I think he took a couple. I think he hit one. Everyone was like, oh my God, he hit a 3-pointer. He would feel a lot better. Kobe Bryant, one of the best scorers of all time. Kobe shot some shots that you would just be like, dude, there's 4 people on you. There was probably 3 other options that was different than that. But in his mind, he felt like he had the best chance with those 3 people on him of making it out of anybody that was on the floor right now. And look where he is. Rest in peace, Kobe. But look at where he sits as far as where the top NBA players sit. He was not afraid to do that because he hit the F it button. Some of y'all just need to hit the F it button. I don't know. I'm not telling people to go smoke weed. I don't know what it is, but y'all need to hit the F it button with certain stuff. You got
to figure it out, man. You got to figure it out. Like, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the highest social battery. I tell you this all the time, Dom. I'm on a cognitive spectrum, dog. Like, to the point where I know for a fact I have ADHD because I was diagnosed with it at 9-10 years old.
Right.
And my whole life, the problem with it, dog, that's what's so funny about, mental health. I was diagnosed with having ADHD at 9 years old, bro, like in a 99 percentile. And what happened was somehow I was able to navigate through life by damn near forgetting about it. It's like I forgot I had it. So what happened was, the problem with that was, the reason they forgot I had it, and the reason I forgot I had it, everybody forgot I had it, because I guess at the time it was looked at like it was, I guess it wasn't looked at like as a mental disability or nothing like that, but it was looked at like this need to be corrected with medication.
Yeah.
This when Ritalin came out, right? I never even took the shit either. I remember getting one thing of it, like, and I remember never taking it, and that was that. And I never took it, and it kind of went off, and it was kind of like, well, damn, I don't really need it to function. It's like really nothing wrong with this kid, right?
Right.
And you would think that, right? But I remember going through life, I had so many different like people's perception of me changed so many times through life because it was always different. I was never the same. Some people thought I was fucking slow, bro, and they can attest to this. If they was, some motherfuckers thought I was retarded, and some people thought I was genius. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the measure of my intellect was never on the same, you know what I'm saying, on the same wavelength. Like, you could have a conversation with two different people, but like, what? They'd be like, yo, Dewan is the smartest motherfucker I know. And another motherfucker, like, what are you talking about? That dude is retarded. Like, he didn't say anything. Like, you know, people used to literally think I was slow because I wouldn't talk. Like, I wouldn't say shit to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember teachers used to always, like, if I was around bullshit or something, they would be like, yo, like, why the fuck are you underachieving? Now, they did. So, all right. So they could tell, you know, teachers could read you cognitively. They could tell your intellect and shit, right? So they see the intellect is high. So I guess in a sense, and a lot of people that have ADHD or anything on this type of form on the spectrum will tell you that. They'll be like, yo, man, I was always like seen as an underachiever. Like, people will damn near pretty much tell you you're lazy if they know you. Yeah. So like I said, other people, if they didn't know me, they would think that was me. So they'd be like, oh, this motherfucker is stupid, or he on some other shit. But if they did know you, because the teacher got to deal with you, or a counselor or a family member or something like that, it's like, oh, you motherfucker, you are a procrastinator. You are bullshitting. You're lazy. And how I told you was how ADHD really works. And it's just a term, though. I think they didn't change the term of it now. I don't even know if ADHD.
I think they have different versions of it.
Yeah, so many versions. Like, it's not even ADHD no more. It's just but it's some shit on the spectrum. They can't figure it out, right? Yeah. I said it's like having an office in your brain. And it's like literally you in two different places at the same time. As we talking right now, I'm in two different places at the same time. I'm always at two different places at the same time. Or like, for example, y'all see me fucking around with my phone and shit like that. Like, y'all see me doing that. I have to do that. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, if you ever see somebody, that's why, you know, having ADHD is on the same spectrum as somebody, you know, being autistic. It's on the autism spectrum. That's why I say sometimes I joke, I'm like, I'm autistic. I'm not really autistic, but I got a lot of comorbidities with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, you'll see them, they got to do certain shit. They got to play with their hands and shit like that. Yeah. I have to multitask. I have to do two different things. Or what happens is I could sit here and be talking to you, but I'm literally in my head somewhere else. Yeah. So, but I could kind of navigate. I could kind of like navigate the conversation, but at the same time, I'm still thinking because I'm compulsive. So if it's something that I'm really into, I'm sitting there thinking about it like that. Like, it's on my brain. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, and going through life with that shit, dog, it really, it kind of fucked with some, you know what I'm saying, some relationships and shit. It definitely held me back with progressing through certain career paths and shit like that. I told you that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't understand it. I was just like, I forgot that I had this kind of disadvantage, if you will, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I told you one day, but it was actual physical traits that brought me back to realizing that I had it. It wasn't the mental thing. And like I said, the mental capacity of it let me kind of write it off. That's how I know that shit is bad for relationships with other people, because I even wrote it off with my own self, because I was able to function so well in society. I was able to still pass and have good grades. I was still able to have tests, even though I wasn't excelling the way I should have. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was still able to have friends like you and navigate, but y'all was able to read me off. Y'all would just be like, DeJuan's kind of bitch ass nigga sometimes. That nigga a whole like he kind of be acting funny. Like that nigga don't really answer the phone sometimes. And that's how I know about these other guys. It's like they not really doing it on purpose because I was never doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And same thing with these teachers. It's like they're like, bro, why the fuck didn't you just turn in a homework? Like, why didn't you do that?
Why you just do it? Right.
And like I said, the person in my brain, like, bro, I don't know. Like, I literally was like, hey, bro, just do the homework is easy as fuck. Just do it and turn it in. And I just couldn't do it. Like, my body would not respond. I couldn't do that shit. So it's the same thing. If a motherfucker calling, I see you, Don, we do this all the time. I'll see you calling sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I just couldn't answer it on that first time. I had to call you back. You ever notice that shit? Like,
or vice versa. Now, I'm probably doing it for a different reason because I got my hands in a couple things, even with work meetings and stuff. So I can respect it. Sometimes I don't even think it's advantageous for me to answer the phone because me and you get into typically some deep conversations. Yeah. And if I'm in a position,
you already know like that phone call gonna be too long, so I'm gonna have to hit the nigga back. But I noticed this about you, just like you noticed this about me. We would actually sit there. That's what's so funny. We never had this discussion. You would think about that, like, that's so funny. I called you just the other day. I'm like, that nigga ain't answering because he thinking that he got to have a long ass conversation, and he ain't got time for that. Actually, it was yesterday. And I know I know what he doing. He with somebody doing some stuff. He can't get on the phone and talk to me too long.
Right.
But then I noticed what you. This so funny though. That's why I'm like, man, you might be. I noticed I'm like, this nigga will at least be like, damn, let me at least shoot this nigga a text message or let me at least hit him and tell him real quick because I can do that one. I could be like, hey, Juan, I need to handle this real quick. Let me hit you back. Let me see this. And I do that shit too. Now it's like, oh, let me at least. I'm like, hey, Don, I'm gonna hit you back. I'm gonna do this. I gotta do this and do that. But back in the day, wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
What would that do, bro? That will leave bad taste in people's mouth, whether it was career, whether it was employer, whether it was motherfucking teacher, or whether it was a friend or some kind of relationship, dog. Because and we got grown ass men to this day doing that shit.
Facts.
Now, granted, we gotta sit around and get them a diagnosis and say, hey man, they're not doing it because they got a social anxiety disorder, or maybe they introverted or some shit, man. It ain't personal.
Right.
But honestly, I mean, all the stars align to say that, but who are we to really diagnose you with that, bro? You're not, and we'll tell you that shit and you still doing it.
Right.
So, I mean, what can you do with that information, bro? What can you do with that kind of shit?
Yeah, you gotta kind of have at this point, you gotta have enough self-awareness, and I'll say the balls to go ahead and just be honest.
That's what it is.
About who you are.
Self-awareness, bro. Period.
You got to. Matter. You know what's funny? How you went through. Now, since you talked about your childhood and some, I'll tell you things that even my family knows. My mom and dad know this, that I paid for early on that actually paid off as I got older. My issue in school was I will always have good grades and I would have bad comments, and the comments wouldn't be like it wouldn't be like bad comment like I'm beating people up or anything like that. It'd be like excessive socializing. I used to see that all down my report card.
Like an extrovert, dog. You can't stop talking, can't stop dealing with
it. There you go. And all the way down. And then this is what I found out as an 8-year-old. I was even telling my mom, and I was telling the teacher, I was like, look, I'm not they're talking to me and you're yelling at me because I'm talking back. Well, this is what they felt like. So now as I peel back the onion and I'm dying, they felt like I'm leading the discussions. And if I shut up, everybody else will shut up. And so what I realized is it was a problem for teachers because they felt like maybe I was being disruptive, but it was just literally just because people wanted to talk to me, like having conversations with me, and I would talk back, and I actually love talking to the kids. So as I got older, thank you, all my teachers, for that, because it actually got me to where I'm at now in my career, and I thank you for that. That actually was a strength. It's helped me lead teams. It's helped me lead technology initiatives. It's helped me get to where I'm at in my career. It's helped me go to grad school, meeting, communication, and talking to people, and being able to meet people where they're at. has done nothing but help me excel. Now I had to learn other things, LeJuan, like you said. Like I sat here while you were talking, and I had to learn like when to listen. That's something I had to work on. That's something
Right.
I struggle with. That's sometimes I struggle with that now. I admit that now. But for the most part, it's turned out to be a strength for me when it comes to just because, again, like it takes back to our first point, being taking some of those traits and being somewhat extroverted does help you. It helps get yourself in front of people. It helps people hear you. It's like taking the microphone and yelling, "Here I am." So people that aren't even paying attention to you, even if you're not wearing a shirt as bright as this, they can see you. You
So
know?
how would you say being extroverted helped you with dealing with women? A lot
Yeah.
of these young guys struggle with dealing with women, and
Yeah. I can tell you right.
maybe they
That's
didn't
a
have
great
that
question.
type of, maybe they weren't the most popular guy in high school. Maybe they didn't have all the experience that they wanted to have in high school. So now they off in college. Like, tell me though, what was your transition like from high school to college as far as, what I'm saying, using your personality, being in an environment where you wasn't, what I'm saying, you was a minority at Central Michigan,
Correct.
Michigan. That's more of a predominantly white school, correct?
Yeah, facts. Big facts.
So you
Yeah.
had to figure it out there, man. Like, what
Mhm.
did you do? What I'm saying, using your personality and how that worked out for you versus other guys, that was similar to you, that wasn't some superstar athlete up there. How did their college experience turn out there? If by them being introverted and shit, not socializing, not moving around with these people because they didn't feel as comfortable and shit.
Yeah. One, they never knew where the parties was. That's number one. Because I will tell you, all the white people up there was throwing parties. So if you did not talk to white people, I'm sorry, you did not know where the parties was, number one. Number two, you didn't necessarily have those strong connections when you graduated. All the people that you talked to was the couple black people that you were around, and they didn't go anywhere. You don't really have any connections professionally outside of college. And then number three is when it came to go back to your other point, when it came to women, it's not that I feel like, and I will never say this because no one's everybody's type. There's a lot of women that I'm just not their type. Fine, whatever. But what I noticed is the ability when maybe if you're extroverted or you have the ability to do this, driving the conversations and making them feel comfortable is an art. So what I typically do is I relate to something they can relate about. Like for instance, if I'm going up to a white girl that is from a smaller town and she's probably they probably never been around black people or except on TV or seen them, which we ran into a lot of people like that, and we ran into black people that's never seen a white person like or been around white people like that, for the most part. It's a culture shock for a lot of them. But I actually grew up in a very diverse environment, so I kind of know a little bit about a lot, if that makes sense. So there were certain things I would say to them that made me relatable to them. That's what made them feel comfortable. I will tell anybody the number one thing that you can do when you're talking about, because I think people just want to, that's why I never could send my son to an all black college. I never want to send him to an all black college. I think all black colleges should be outdated now because all black colleges was around because we couldn't go to school and get an education back in the racist days. That's why we started all black establishments so we can do it. We don't necessarily need those anymore. So it's not advantageous for you to go to an all black college because corporate America and business is not like that. It's a very diverse environment. And I'm sorry, if you can't speak to no race outside of black people, you're going to struggle. And I actually watch it in business now. I watch it in some of my meetings.
I say this about it, and and Tony could attest to this. Remember, Tony, y'all, shout out to Tony, man, out in Dallas, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the black experience is excellent, man. It's fun, and the homeliness that you can get within a black university, the experience there is untouched, right? Unmatched. But I just don't. I feel, and just like Tony did, it wouldn't be advantageous to get your full career, you know what I'm saying, your full education there. So
right.
You can't do your whole experience there. You know what I'm saying? So depending on how you going about getting your education or whatever your career is, figure that out. But yeah, like you said, though, it is not advantageous to solely just be on a black, you know what I'm saying, unless you're about to go into some type of demographic or career where you're only dealing with black people, of course, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Which even then, the person that you need to impress sometime at the top The person that owns it might be a white person. It might be a Chaldean person. It might be a Middle Eastern. It might be an Asian person.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right. It's you have to be able to relate. Your best, you have the reason why Barack Obama was able to become the president of the United States twice as a black man is because he was relatable to a lot of people. He was not just relatable to black people, he was relatable to white people too. That's why he's in office. He was in office twice. It is not advantageous for you to be able to talk to one race. When I sit in my meetings, it might be 10%, not even 10% African Americans. It might be a couple Middle Eastern people. It might be a couple people from the Indian culture, and it might be a couple Asians, but it's not all black people. So there's different cultural norms that you need to be able to adapt to. Those are some of the people that are able to build some of the strongest relationships, and they have the most charisma when it comes to driving a room. There's literally, it's an art. It's an art with women. Like, you literally can come to a table, and if you can get 4 women at the same time to engage with one man and actually have a meaningful conversation with you, that's an art. Because usually, typically, even if you're talking to one woman, the other 3 is like, all right, I'm ready to peace out. I'm not, but if you can actually get all 4 of them engaged in the conversation, that's an art. And it's called relatability. You have to be relatable to whoever's at that table.
Yeah. You gotta be able to speak multiple languages, and we ain't talking about actual different languages. You gotta be able to, talk to these people. And you're right, you'll never be comfortable around people if you never be around them. You feel me?
There you go.
I mean, you get it, man. Sometimes though, but yeah, I don't know, man. You done seen people who grew up. It's even little shows, man, where you see like certain, biracial people grew up, man, and they needed to get the full black experience. So they went over to a HBCU and it worked out for them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I have definitely seen where black people have grew up in inner cities, been around all, black people their whole life. And then they went to a diverse college and it, changed their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's advantageous, man, to have friends of all many different cultures and backgrounds and shit like that. Have relationships in many cultures and backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think every white friend should have, or every white person should have a real authentic black friend. You know what I'm saying? So they can
one that actually likes black people.
Yeah. Teach them to like how to navigate. Yeah, a lot of white people have friends that ain't they do black. Really. I say this all the time, dog. You know what I'm saying? The biggest advocates of blackface are black people, dog. Those are the most dangerous people with blackface. It's not white people. White people can throw on some paint and shit, dog. That shit, they just like white people with black paint on them. Mocking somebody. But a black person can literally disguise themselves as black.
I'm gonna throw it out there. That's how I feel about Candace Owens.
Candace Owens is not a black person to me, dog.
She says she said something that racism doesn't exist.
She's black. Crazy. I mean, a lot of them time, anytime you see a dummy say some shit like that, anytime like that, that's somebody playing blackface, man. They're not real black people. I would say damn near we could talk about that. That's a whole nother discussion. We're going to that, man. We fuck around and get real political and all that shit. But for real, it's a lot of people out here that look black, but they're not black. And the reason they're not black, because it's a construct, dog. Right. Black is a construct, and it's about relatability. How the fuck is Candace Owens black if she doesn't relate to black people?
And I can't relate to that.
She's not a black person. You know what I'm saying? So that's neither here or there. But man, you know what I'm saying, man? Figure out the personality types. Figure out who the fuck you are. And deal with it hands on. I did that shit. Dom did that shit. Nice. You know what I'm saying? And we figuring it out, man. You know what I'm saying? And we dominating our networks, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go somewhere, man, you know what I'm saying? Work on yourself. Create value. And then when you create value, offer that value to somebody else in trade or exchange for their value. Correct. That is how you navigate through life. And that's celebrities, dog. They be rocking all the fresh ass drip. They be doing all that bottle service because all they doing is exchanging value with people who could give it to them. Hey man, I got these nice Balenciaga and Louis Vuitton sweaters. I'll give you these for free. Just shout out my store, man. Say you got it from here or there. Hey man, come to my club, man. Free bottle service, man. We're gonna give y'all 5 bottles. All your friends can come through. We're gonna give y'all VIP tables, and I'll give you 20,000. Shout my damn club out, man. I'm gonna kill him at the door in the bar anyway. I don't give a damn about that money I'm about to give you. Exchange of value.
It's called, and what you talking about, Dewan? You're talking about you can't have these relationships without reciprocity. I'm telling you, you think
Period.
you could just take.
Or you
It's
think somebody owe you some shit because you feel like you special. Like, come on, man. What the fuck is you doing for somebody else?
right,
You know what I'm saying? We can make this shit very simple. You think somebody's supposed to show up to your child birthday party, but you ain't got to show up to their shit. You
right,
think somebody's supposed to show up to your birthday dinner, but you don't show up to their shit.
yeah,
Like, what kind of you not? You know what? Some of y'all ain't introverted. Some of y'all is whole ass people, dog. You a
I'm
whole
just
ass
gonna
person.
call it.
And that's
I'm just
cool.
gonna
If
call
that's
it.
what you is, and say that out. But stop trying to put it out on there and make everybody else be all
Right,
that. Same thing with these chicks, man. A lot of y'all dudes on here crying about these women, man. Bro, you ain't even
right,
shot no shots, man. You ain't even did nothing to go get them. You
right,
expect her to jump in your DM and she
right.
got a
That won't
thousand
happen.
million dudes trying to get at her?
Won't happen.
Get out of here with that bullshit, man. You ain't never getting no bras, dog.
And I think one of the weakest things that I see in this society is a lot of guys. Like I don't know who hurt these people, but it's like y'all get on here and y'all just seriously cry. There now we want to have an honest conversation. You bring a woman onto a podcast and you want to ask her some questions on her opinion on why certain things are the way they are. But to get on here and just start bashing and degrading women because somebody hurt you or they're not showing you the love that you feel like they deserve, that you feel like you deserve, I'll probably question it and say, why do you feel like you deserve that? But I think that's whack. You know what I'm saying? So to your point, man, it's like, you don't open your mouth, but you want these people to just jump in your DMs or just come up to you at the table in the restaurant and tell you how fine they think you are. And here's my number. And I don't know if you watching, Aladdin or whatever you're watching, but that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You got to open your mouth. You got to get out in the world, and you can't hide behind computers. You have to actually meet people and shake their hands. Because actually, when you meet somebody and you shake their hand, that makes them feel way closer to you than when you're talking through them through a digital device. I promise you.
No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on people out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Add some value to yourself. In exchange, man. We add value every day. And the more people we know, the more value we're going to exchange, the more money we're going to make, the more better relationships we're going to build. And it's like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to chop it up with people. I'm willing to tap in. I'm willing to do these things. I'm willing to put the work in. And I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it got to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What can I offer you and what can you offer me? Every relationship is beneficial. It's about benefits. Now, granted, sometimes they're one-sided. And that's what happens. Usually somebody's stealing. So in situations where these relationships are toxic, one person's benefiting and the other person's taking.
Right.
Great relationships are equal benefits.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's man or woman.
Right.
Even if it's a man, dog, the relationship is still of equal, or they're supposed to be binary beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be benefiting both ways, man.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, in all relationships, you know what I'm saying, have a level of intimacy to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta put respect on that shit, man.
Thanks, man. Speaking of which, man, I know you was getting to it, man. We want to add value too. So, like we said, we have some classes that we're gonna have coming out. We want people to tap into us, personally. We have some things that we want to share in our experiences, and really, what me and Dewan want to do is help even some of the guys that might be younger than us not bump their head. We bumped our head, and that's how we learn. But we
X.
learn, so now we can teach them how not to bump their head with certain things. So be sure to tap in, my man Dewan's YouTube channel, Dewan Algadon. Tap in. Dominique Davis speaks. We got some things we want to share.
Most definitely, dog. We're gonna turn this thing up, man. We're gonna be on here, we're gonna be consistent, man. So, like you said, man, they're gonna have to hit them Gmails up. Hit us on the gram too, man.
Thanks.
What's your gram, Don?
Dominique Davis official. Follow me.
Yep. And mine is just Dewan Algadon. I'm Dewan Algadon everywhere. The website, DewanAlgadon.com. Don about to have his website coming real soon. We're working on that right now. So, man, yeah, man, we just wanted to tap in on that tonight, man. We're going to keep it going, man. We're going to hit y'all with some more episodes soon. So, anything else you want to say, Don?
Man, we good, man. It's a wrap.
All right, we out of here.